Welcome to the Divine Radiance Project with your host, Stacey Turner, and co-host, Emma McDonald, where we share all about reclaiming your radiance as women in business, holistic health, money, mindset, and juggling it all around mum life. A place for women to learn about financial independence, entrepreneurship, and balance. From women who aren't scared to speak their mind and their truth. It's time to shine your brightest self and be the lighthouse. Hello, hello, hello. We are live. Today I'm going to be speaking with the amazing Melanie Pyne. I don't think I've ever said her full name, Mel. So Mel is one of my business partners, a very good friend of mine, and she is actually a doula turned traveling mama. Hello, welcome, welcome.
Hello, beautiful. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good. I have to admit, I'm a little bit, nerves don't usually come up in lives anymore, but for some reason when it was like, I'm going to interview you for my podcast, I was like, oh gosh, like, what am I going to say?
It's perfect. I have a series of questions I'm going to ask you, and it's just a chit chat, but I know that you have so much value to share with the world, and I'm excited to not only have it on this platform, but also share it across to those of you that are listening to the podcast on Spotify. Once I launch it, then you will hear it on there. But right now we're on Instagram. We've gone live. Mel, tell us where you are right now.
I'm in Lembongan, so in Indonesia, which if you don't know, so it's just an island across from Bali.
I am so jealous. I'm actually so jealous. I don't usually feel that way because, yeah, I've created a life that I love, and I know you're much the same. You know, we were talking about this earlier in the group chat, that having the flexibility and not having to answer to anybody these days is what we consider true freedom. And we are living our best lives, whether we're with our family in Australia or whether we're in Bali. But I just love Bali so much and I've missed it so much. So I'm very excited that you are there and living it up. How's it been so far?
Yeah, it's stunning. It's really funny because before coming here, so we are a traveling family living in a caravan, traveling Australia, which is, most people would say, is living the dream, and it absolutely is. But yeah, we've come over to Bali to have a break from van life and have a bit more space and do something special for our boys around Christmas. But Bali is just, the first time I landed here, I said I felt home. So I call Australia home, but Bali feels like home for me. It feels very safe. It feels very me. I think I can connect more to myself in Bali. Maybe it's because there's more nature, which, yeah, I don't know. We've been out in nature. So I don't know what it is about Bali. Maybe it's the spirituality. There seems to be more, yeah, which we were fortunate enough to go to a temple ceremony with a family here, and that was something that I'll just never forget. I had just goosebumps all over my body and my eyes were welling up, just saying, wow, like, this is really special that we get to do this. And that we were taken in, like, just, yeah.
I think it's also just such a different pace. It's, you know, even though Brisbane and Gold Coast and Sunshine Coast are a bit more laid back than some of the other cities in Australia, Bali's even more of a slower pace. Obviously, the people that are working and living there, but I guess there's just such a holiday vibe for the expats that are there. You get to relax more.
The people just seem happier. I don't know, like,
that's awesome.
Chris and I made a comment about that we actually went and all had family foot rubs, but everyone, like, welcomed us in. They were all laughing. They were all happy. You know, I don't know about you, but if I've ever walked into, like, a nail salon back home, I've definitely not had the same vibe, just the energy I could pick up. And I'm like, I feel really, like, I actually feel uncomfortable most of the time going because Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just the feeling I get. Anyway.
Yeah. I can totally relate. I can totally relate. Before we dive too much further into life as it is right now, I would love for you to share a little bit about who you are and where you've come from prior to us working together in this business.
Oh, okay. So this question, I'm probably still not necessarily refining the answer, but I'm like really getting into the deeper, like why everything has unfolded the way it has for me. And that seems to like, that evolves in itself. So I, like, I'm going to go back in time. Like, so before I was with MONAT, and I somewhat still am, you know, I am a doula, I am a hypnobirthing practitioner. That is what I was doing before we decided to travel Australia. Um, I love that work. Like, that work is so soul filled, like there's a purpose, and I really felt it was my calling. But the one thing that, you know, I was always talking to women saying, trust you, trust your gut, you know, do what feels right for you and your babies. But part of that work just didn't feel right for me and my babies and where I'm at in my motherhood season. And yeah, I wanted to be with my boys. I wanted to be the main influence on my children. This is something that started to kind of like come out, is that my first boy, he did daycare, he did a year of school, and he's 7. He's that first 7 years where they are so molded and shaped. And I'm going to be honest, I wouldn't say that me and his dad, like Chris, my husband, I wouldn't say that we were it. He had a lot. He had daycare teachers, he had daycare peers, he had a teacher, he had peers, he had grandparents. Like, he had a lot of people around him that have shaped who he is and how he thinks and how he sees the world. So yeah, that's something that's, you know, why we are doing what we're doing. And just before being a doula, I was in the corporate world. I was climbing the corporate ladder. I was like so far from what I am doing now, and I was in finance. It's so masculine. It's like, you know, the word toxic, I think, can be thrown around a lot, but it was toxic. Like, we shared today about what we're grateful for, and honestly, I can say I'm grateful for food, I'm grateful for water, I'm grateful for a roof over my head, I'm grateful for my family. But I think I've been saying that, and I am grateful for that stuff. But today I was like, I am so grateful that, like, I don't have to ask anyone anything. I don't have to ask for time off. I don't have to ask to go to the bathroom. Like, I've literally been in that position. I've had anxiety because of jobs that I've held and what I've had to ask for myself, or I've pushed myself when I've not felt well, when my kids haven't been well, when, you know, I'm on my cycle and I've not been able to listen to I blocked myself. I blocked myself for years and years, and I'm only just learning, and I'm trying to teach my boys at the same time to listen to me and listen to my body and what feels right. And yeah, I could keep going on all of that, but
Well, we have been so like disconnected from ourselves, really. Like, this is something that I spoke with Steph Cerrone about this morning, is the system wants us to be disconnected from ourselves. And
yeah,
those of us that are reclaiming our radiance, reclaiming our power, reconnecting with ourselves, we become really strong, and, you know, we don't do what we're told. So that's hard for a government to deal with. Probably should be careful what I say, because I don't want to get shadow banned on Instagram. But you know, it's so, I love hearing people's stories, and I think it's really powerful for anyone who hears Mel's story or anyone else's story, that it's like, what are you letting happen that you could take back your power in, right? And that's, I guess, the moral of the story is, are you living a life of joy? Are you living a life that feels like freedom to you? And if not, why not? Because those options are available to all of us. if we get resourceful, right? If we think outside the box, if we lean on support from people that maybe we didn't think were going to be part of our circle, but we've reconnected through the most random of ways. And the beauty of the internet is that it brings us all closer together, no matter where we are and whatever lives we're living. So yeah, I think there's so much power in your story, and there's a lot of lessons that we can all learn to move forward with, yeah, with more happiness in our lives. And that's, at the end of the day, my mission is like to help people improve their human experience. And I know you feel that too.
Oh, definitely. And, you know, for myself, and if there's anyone watching, and I've had to get really comfortable with being uncomfortable. And in that, uncomfortable is even showing my life and more of my life. Sometimes I pull back because I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm just boasting people that hate their job. There's going to be people that are waking up that are just like, this day sucks. I've been there, but then in that, I know by me showing and sharing, I'm showing a way, but it's also, I know it's going to trigger some people. I know I'm going to have people go, fuck off. Like, I don't want to hear from you.
Unfollow.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And you can do that. Like, I am so sorry. I send you love. I don't want to be doing that to you. I don't want you to be hating your life or hating yourself. But if it's that painful, like if that's the feelings, I kind of do want to be saying to you, like, it doesn't have to be like that.
And I would say sorry, not sorry, because the triggering
Yeah.
is the healing, right? Like if somebody is triggered, they need to evaluate, well, if that person's living their best life and I'm annoyed with them for being happy and I'm like in my comfort coffin suffering away, then maybe I need to reflect on my own life and go, okay, what do I need to change? And if we're not willing to get out of the comfort coffin yet, then maybe, yeah, we get like annoyed by the people that are happy. Or maybe we go, what can I do to get out of my hole? What can I do to change something, right? Like nothing changes if nothing changes. And so I think that's why we love this business so much. And I guess for those that don't know either of us, we actually met through CrossFit. So back in the day, we were really comfortable. No kids. We were really comfortable with being uncomfortable, right? That was like the actual mantra of CrossFit, was literally get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Like go to that pain cave and hurt. And okay, now in hindsight, we see that's quite a masculine energy. We've got a different level of grit these days, and we channel it with the divine feminine energy, which is very apt for the name of our podcast, which is the Divine Radiance Project, because it is all about reclaiming, yeah, who we are as women, as mums, as entrepreneurs, as like strong, driven, powerful goddesses, for want of a better word, and bringing the femininity into that so that we can show people that, yeah, we don't have to live like men because we're not men. And it's really important for us to get in tune with our cycles and to honor ourselves as women and to make it okay and normalize it for every single woman to get reconnected with that. And isn't it so funny, just before you go, sorry, isn't it so funny, as a doula, encouraging women to stand in their power through their pregnancy and birth journey, yet the second that we're like, okay, wrapped up postpartum, time to get back to work, get back on the wagon, and it's like all not forgotten to us especially, but to most women, it's like, okay, I've done my period of listening to my intuition and being in my power, and then it's like go back to following the instructions and forgetting about the femininity.
Yeah, absolutely. And that goes perfectly into what I was like even going to talk about. But you're right, Stacey, that was one other thing, you know, sitting with women, they're sobbing that they are going back to work for financial reasons. And I was there just going, I've been there. Like at 6 months, I went back to work when went back to finance, like went back to this job that I did hate. I commuted. I was there Monday to Friday. I was literally taking my babies to daycare and they were being like torn from me so I could leave to get to work on time. I would cry walking out of the daycare. I'd sob in the car. And
That's not good for anyone's nervous system.
Oh, it was like, it's making me feel physically unwell now just remembering it, and also remembering sitting with women and just me. I literally went into like my, I guess, flight response when they were like upset about having to go back to work. I would just I would shut down because I was like, I know what that's like. I have no answer. I have nothing that I can offer, nothing to help, and I really just didn't know what to say. And
And now you have MONAT.
MONAT. But the funniest thing is that I've now just like it continues to come up, you know, that it's like this way of working, this business model is a scam. But it's the most mother-centered way of working and way of earning money. Like, honestly, we'll all keep saying it. The scam is having to take your children to someone else when you don't want to look after them, so you can go to a job to earn money to pay for that care. Like, you don't earn money caring for your own children at home.
So we need another way. And this platform is the way. I actually saw a really awesome reel today that was one of our fellow business partners in the US in our wider team. And I want to remake it because I really resonate with this, but it's essentially saying, so it's not icky when someone like, and not bagging out on Jennifer Aniston because I love her, but someone like Jennifer Aniston shows you Avita skincare for a big price tag, right? She's going to get a beautiful big check out of it. She doesn't even use the skincare.
Yeah.
It's not icky if she does it, but if your friend who just wants to stay home with their babies is doing it, apparently it's a scam.
Yeah.
Let's just like check the BS there. Like, how's your BS meter going? You know, and it's about like reframing those thought patterns and going, why do I feel uncomfortable when my friend is trying to support her family when some person who's already got lots of money, and bless her, sending her so much love and so happy that she's got all this money, but like isn't even using the products. But we love the products. We actually use the products. We know they work. Where's the ick there? Like, where is it?
I don't know. Where's the cringe? Even the cringe meter. I know there's people that watch me, you. I think I did watch you and saw you flick your hair once, and I was like, oh, come on, Stace. But then
here we go.
I am, and I was like, it actually wasn't you, it was me, and I didn't think that I could do that, or that the products would work for me, or some story I was telling myself.
I just got goosebumps because you've hit the nail on the head there, right? When people see us doing this, it's all about the mirror that's being reflected back to them, not even about what we're doing or judging us. They're judging themselves, that the fact that they probably don't have the confidence or care too much what other people think, people-pleasing tendencies, don't want to get outside the box, don't want to be too big, got to stay small and do what I'm told and stay in line.
Don't want to be seen.
Don't want to be seen.
Stay small, stay safe, just stay hidden, be a good girl. Don't step out of line.
Yeah, well, I'm here to say, fuck that. Yeah. So if any of this is resonating with you guys and you're like, okay, I'm stuck in this cycle, I'm triggered so much by people that are living their dream and living their passion, how do I get out of this cycle? How do I break free of this? What we have witnessed since we started our businesses is like healing and transformation on steroids.
Yeah.
Just by starting the business and feeling the support of the women and the community that is here, you won't even know what you're capable of until you step into this. But you also don't even need to think about it yet. Just buy the pack and the rest will unfold for you.
It really will. Like, the unfold is just something you can't prepare yourself for it. And it, honestly, as much as, you know, there's the money, there's the community, like you said, the transformation, the personal growth, the just becoming the person that you're meant to be, like leaving behind caring what other people think, people pleasing, being a good girl, or the sisterhood wounds. Like, there's just, you know, honestly, I guess I was kind of a judgy person somewhat. And if a judgy thought comes through, I catch it straight away now. And I'm like, oh dear, like, what was that about? but other, like, I honestly would say I don't feel like I judge. Like, I reckon I could go a week without judging, you know, whereas it used to probably be daily.
Yeah.
And that's
And
being really
that's,
honest. And that's, I think, healing, like massive healing.
yeah, that's a reflection of ourselves, hey, and how we've moved through that. I can completely resonate, and I would be exactly the same. I was
Yeah.
probably one of the judgiest, most angry, sad people that I knew,
Yeah.
the past version of me. And people hear them like, nah, that's not
Yeah.
true. Yeah, it really is. It really is. I mean, way, way ago, like 10 years ago, like figuring myself out in my 20s, ages ago.
Yeah.
But now being here, you know, coming up to 40 in a couple of years' time and going like, okay, right, well, reflecting on who we are and who we've become and getting to run a business and heal those sister wounds as part of running a business that also gives other people an opportunity to financially nourish their families. I just don't see any cons here. And
No.
even the fact that there's no monthly overheads or order requirements, there's no minimums or quotas that people need to hit. Like, people literally will get paid on what they sell. So regardless of what else you have going on in your life, you know, even if, God forbid, even if Mel was still in corporate and I was still running my nutrition business, we could still be doing MONAT on the side, right?
Yeah.
But this has given us the flexibility to actually, I mean, you'd shifted out of corporate prior, but, you know, it's allowed us to shift and mold our lives in the way that we want to really create the flexibility to have that ability to earn that extra stream of income, what that provides for us. And now we get to share that, we get to pay that forward. We've already got it, and we win when we help other people win. So it's this beautiful conscious collaboration of like-minded women and men coming together and literally supporting each other. Like, there are
Yeah.
literally no cons to this. Anyone and everyone should and can do this. But I
Yeah.
want to actually,
I just want to say it is like that complementary business. You know, I do have a lot, and you would too, a lot of um, solo entrepreneurs that are experts in their fields. And the one thing I want to say to those people, because, you know, being a doula, being a nutritionist, like, there's only so many hours you can actually work. There's only so many. You'll be burnt out if you try and see more and more clients and put in that time and energy to each and every client. Either you'll burn out or your level of service will just be sacrificed. And no one gets into their business wanting to have their service levels go down or lose passion for what they're doing. And this is something that I know can keep that burning, for the passion burning in what you're doing, and it goes like side by side, and you can earn beautiful money and still do something that you love to do. It's that, yeah, the
yes,
business
it's
model
not one or the other.
is.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. It's so good. But we'll start to wrap up now, and I just wanted to ask you if there is anything that scares you. Do you have any big fears, or, and this is an interesting one, asking people who used to be scared of doing certain things and maybe now have worked through a lot of those fears. It's like this beautiful wow me moment.
Yeah. I mean, like, you know, the stuff like this doesn't scare me anymore. Lives or me just jumping on my stories, and that was initially showing my face and all of that stuff. And I don't necessarily mind being seen, but I guess my fears are that as I'm evolving, I'm having bigger opinions and bigger thoughts, and I guess that way I'm still working through what am I safe enough to share without, you know, offending, triggering, or whatnot. But that's just still, it's my own, because you can love someone and not share the same thoughts. But I feel like I need to share what I really think and believe, because it's it's pretty powerful stuff. It's got me to where I am, what I'm living, what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And if it can, you know, just help someone shift up a gear, like level up themselves, then it needs to be shared. But it's something that still that voice, that inner voice gets blocked by the inner critic, I guess.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. That's, yeah, so insightful. And any final parting words that you want to leave your audience with, our
It's all
audience?
the right time. I think you even shared one of your reels, the perfect time, the right time. It doesn't feel like the right time. Like,
It
there
never
is
will.
no there is no perfect time. I shared a meme or something today as well about saving things for a special occasion. What's the special occasion then, or what's better than right now? Like, tomorrow is not guaranteed for you. So what's this perfect time, right time, special occasion? Whatever you want
Yes.
to choose to do it now. Do it
And you'll
today.
figure it out. You'll figure it out, right? You'll find a
Oh,
way. Yeah,
out.
I love that. That's so good. So good. So, guys, if you are listening to this on Spotify and you have really enjoyed it, you can find Mel at, what's your Instagram handle?
Mama, MAMA dot and dot her dot boys. Maybe I need to change that. I've never had to
It's
say it out.
beautiful. It's perfect. It's so good. And enjoy your rest of your day in the beautiful Bali. I am a bit jealous, as I said before, but I'm going to use this as a reminder to go and sit outside in the sun next to my pool for 10 minutes before I get back into some work. But yes, I've really enjoyed this. And thank you so much for jumping on with me. Appreciate your time and your energy and your wisdom. And guys, if you've got any questions, please reach out to either of us and we would love to hear from you.
Yeah, definitely. Love you, Stacey. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. And that's a wrap for today's episode. Listen, if you love what you heard here today, I would love for you to leave a super quick rating and a review. This helps the show get discovered by new people that need to hear what we have to share. Be sure to take a screenshot of today's episode and shout us out on Instagram, and we will shout you right back. You can find us on Instagram handles it's.Stacey Turner and the.emma.mcdonald. If you'd like to find additional resources or work with either of us, then DM us on one of these handles today.